This tutorial will guide you step by step on how to sew side ties into a garment when you are using French seams. We'll be sewing the ties into a bodice with a 1.5 or 5/8 inch seam allowance in this tutorial, but you can use the same method for any sewing project. Start just like you would with any other French seam, pinning the wrong sides of your fabric together and aligning any notches. For our bodice, we're pinning along the side and shoulder seams. With everything pinned, proceed to sew the first pass of your French seam using a 1 cm or 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Then cut all seams back to 3 mm or 1/8 of an inch. Lastly, open up the seams and press the seam allowance to one side. Now it's time to add the side ties. Using a washable pen, we recommend friction. Mark the spot where you want your ties to be sewn into the side seam. If your garment has a waist seam, you'll want to add an extra 2 mm to the seam allowance when marking your tie point. This ensures the tie will sit above the waist seam once sewn. In this case, we'll mark 1.7 cm or 0.7 inches up from the waist on both side seams. Then place the raw edge of the tie right against the side seam. Ensure that the bottom of the tie, the edge with the sewn seam, lines up with the mark and pin in place. Next, close the seam, sandwiching the tie between the front and back bodice and pin along the side seam. Ensure the tie is pinned and then you can remove that inside pin. Pin any other seams on your garment. In our case, we're pinning the shoulder and side seams right sides together. At the sewing machine, complete the Frenchie with a 0.6 cm or 1/4 of an inch seam. When you're sewing the seams with the ties, ensure to backstitch over the ties to reinforce them. Finally, press all your seams as per your pattern instructions. And there you have it. Beautiful ties seamlessly sewn into oh so lovely French seams. If you love sewing, we've got something to help you plan out your creations. Our awesome and awesomely free PDF sewing planner. Jot down your measurements, hack plans and supplies for every project and add your fabric swatches and garment sketches. Use one of our 4 croquis models or sketch on the blank planner pages. It also includes a collection planner for organizing swatches and styling ideas for mini wardrobe collections and a 12-month sewing calendar. Get all your measurements sorted with our journal and step-by-step video tutorial, which walks you through how to take each measurement. Download your planner for free at madelabel.co/planner so you can get creative and plan out the wardrobe of your dreams.